All right, guys, so we are out here in Gallatin, Tennessee, and we got this going on today. Now, let me explain to you what we are doing. We actually had some flooring in our home from other jobs. It was this one right here. It was called Acorn, I believe. This is new antique wood. Hold on. New antique wood? What? Are they all new antique wood? Oh, here you go. Acorn. See, it says Acorn right there. 1, 2. Now we have 8 of this at the house, but we went and bought this new thing called Sand Ridge Pine, and as you can see, they both have a orange tint to them. So since we had so many of the other product, and since this is the exact same product, I figured, hey man, why don't we eliminate that problem we have where multiple prints are and mix these two together? That way we get a little bit of gray in there, because this has a little bit of gray in there, and we actually have some gray inside the house. So I think that's going to add a nice touch. The red is going to pull out from the cabinets, and the gray is going to pull off from the walls. And of course, we're trimming that all out with white, so I think it's going to look good. All right, guys, so that's it. We're going to carry this stuff inside and get started, and you guys can follow along with the process. All right, here we go. She got a sweet person.
In here?
This one's Pistol River. I'll stick it right here. Okay guys, we're inside the house and I wanted you to take a look at this. Now you guys see we got a little bit of Acorn right there. That's the name of this product. And then over here we got Sand Ridge Pine. We have the same number of boxes of each one of them. However, I had 2 boxes of this right here. It's called Pistol River. Now the difference in these, you can see this has a little bit more brown to it, but it still has the gray in it. And this is more red. I mean, look at the two together. My thing is, if I try to take these 2 boxes and mix them in randomly, like, you know, one over there, one over there, one over there. You guys know these things come where the prints are duplicated, you know what I'm saying? So I figured if we're using 3 different kinds and then every once in a while we throw one of those brown ones off here, over there, we're talking about really random. Your floor is really going to look random. So you guys follow along, and that way you can see the finished product. So if you're ever wondering, hey man, can I mix different boxes together? You're going to get to see what that looks like. All right, here we go. All right, you guys, so we got all the boxes inside. It's time to get started, but before we do, there's a couple things we need to do. The first step we need to do is get the thickness of our flooring and get these door jambs cut right here. Kelly's already done all the sweeping, so that is the final step before we get started. So I'm going to go ahead and get those cut, and I'm going to show you how we lay this thing out. All right, guys, let's go.
Here's your food, Poppy.
I don't know if I want food. I just want you to love me.
Well, he's like, nope, that's what I wanted.
Nope, I want love.
So this is the Tabby house, and as you can see, this is why Poppy is always here to welcome us in the mornings and say, come on in, guys. Sometimes he got to get that grub on. All right, Poppy, we got to go to work, so we have to move your food bowl, baby. We got to move. Let's go. All right, guys, so we got all the flooring in, and we're going to start opening up the boxes and spread them out. That way I can show you guys what I'm talking about the patterns, how they repeat, how sometimes they put them reverse, and things like that. So let's go get them boxes and throw them things out. Remember, when you're pulling your flooring out, you want to pull from multiple boxes. That way you're making sure you get a big conglomeration of a mixture with all that. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so I opened up one box, just one box, and it's of the newer stuff that we bought today. Here are 2 boards that I pulled out of the same box. You see what I'm saying? And now look, do I need to like literally point out what I'm talking about here? See, they're identical. And not only are they identical, they're pretty much placed almost in the same space, but you can see that this one is moved up the board about I don't know, 3 inches or so. And you'll find that throughout there, they've just taken the print, and sometimes it'll be moved all the way down here, sometimes it'll be moved all the way around there, and sometimes you get lucky and they flip the pattern around. So that's what we're dealing with today. And I figured today with 3 different styles, we should be running this thing pretty random. All right, guys, let's get this stuff spread out and see what we got to work with. All right, so you guys check this out. We're laying these out in stacks of like, and as you can see, look at that. Very random. Now here's one of those situations where we were talking about where this one right here, if you'll look, you'll see that knot. It's big, and the way you can tell is a triangle, like right here. See what I'm saying? Dark, a little bit of light with that white stripe, and then that big one. But look, they've put it all the way down at the other end on here. So there it is. There's our little dark thing right there, and then over there it is over there on the back side over there. So when you're trying to stack these things on top, and you don't want to put one here and then put the exact same thing on here,
here's another
you
one.
can grab one that's like it, as long as the knot's moved down that way, and then you can make it look random. What were you saying?
Here's another one where this is way down here, and that's right there on that one. So we've opened 3 boxes, and it took us 3 boxes to get planks that were opposite, where we had to make another stack. That's why you got to open more than one box.
Now we do have that pistol river in there as well. We're gonna pull some of those out, take a look and see how it looks, whether it'll be able to be blended in here or not. So this thing is gonna look really good. All right, back to work. So Kelly is pulling out the pistol river, and as you can see, there's a lot of brown and gray to that. It's kind of hard to see with the camera the way it is, but once we get them blended in, I think that is going to be fine. I mean, this is just basically mimicking old flooring, you know, like from the 1800s. So I imagine whatever board they got would fit down in the spot, they went with it. So that's what we're doing. Here we go.
1800s. All right, this is the last piece of the pistol river that we have. We have 2 boxes of that. So look at this. This is all one board. And I know you've already showed this example, but like there's the pattern, there it is, there it is. Right here, same thing. You can see this big knot, right? So you got it there, way down there, there and there. On this wall, there's 2 more. So you got this here, 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 here. You know, and then you can see the lines. So this is all that we have of this with the 2 boxes. So we got to figure out what we have and see how many planks we have and divide by 2 and put half in that room and half in this room, or maybe a little more in the living room. It's a little bigger.
If we're even going to use it, do you think it's going to be okay to use?
I don't know. We need to
it in with the orange.
Let's see.
I think that's the thing, guys, is we're going to go ahead and lay this in there and then see, does it even go? Because I mean,
what are you doing here?
That I'm just putting boards together so that I can figure out a width to center up in the living room, in the kitchen here.
So
yeah, that doesn't go with that at all.
Yes. Well, that's just one piece. Maybe the orangey, this is, what about this though? Does that work? That's a little drastic on that orange for sure.
Yeah, I think it's definitely drastic. We stick with what we have already.
Yeah, probably.
All right, guys, so these are called Pistol River, and as you can see, there's a really high contrast as far as gray and brown and black, so it definitely doesn't go with that.
But the acorn and the other one, that Sandridge Pine, they really mix well. Like, it looks like it's supposed to be that way.
All right, guys, so we're going to take the Sandridge Pine and the acorn, and we are going to mix them up, but we're going to nix 86 on that Pistol River. That can't go. We'll say that for another project. All right, guys, now that we have our boards pulled out and scattered throughout, and we have them randomly the way that they're supposed to be, so we can just pull from them. That way it makes it easier. However, I am going to double check right here to make sure that I don't have like a 3/4 inch piece going like right up underneath my cabinets or right up against the wall or something, because then when I put my quarter round on, it's just basically a filler, and I don't want to see, you know, a little tiny piece of flooring sticking out past the crack. So I want to make sure I split this room up to get started with, and then whatever happens over there, that's what happens. So here we go. Now, if you have a fancy dancy calculator and you can do all these calculations and stuff, and you was really good in school, go ahead and do that. This right here, for me, I like to see visual, and it's just a whole lot easier for me to figure out. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 planks clicked together right here. And if I measure from face to face, over here, I have 36 inches. Now that's a number I can work with. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I've made my line right here in the middle to divide the room up. I can take this flooring and set it over here and line up my flooring with my line. And now that I have that, I can basically figure out from this, it's just like a map, you know, of what's going on. I can figure out how much more it's going to take to get to the other side. So that's where my planks would be if I centered the crack on my line. We can also center the plank on the line if that's what we need to do. We'll find out. All right, so check it out. I got this marked at 3 3/4 over here, but when I'm going to decide whether I'm going to go ahead and cut this all the way across first and then cut my piece, or am I going to just cut my piece and then cut the other way across? Think about this, guys. It's possible that I could use this at the other end, but if I go ahead and rip this all the way across, where else am I going to use this in here? Nowhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this thing in half to begin with, and then I can use the other side somewhere else throughout the install. Does that make sense? All right, so we're also going to take a guess at where this thing is the center. I'm going to say about right there is the center. And that's just a rough guess. I'm going to make this mark right here. Let's just see how good I am. Let me eyeball that right quick. I feel like the side is bigger. Hey guys, look at that. 1/4 of an inch. Oh, Z-Bird he didn't do too bad, huh? All right. All right, so this is gonna be our starter piece right here, and I need to cut that way. I will say this stuff is super easy to cut. You don't really need a bunch of saws or anything. In fact, you really don't even need a tapping block or a hammer if you're good enough to snatch like that. So we're gonna show you how easy this stuff is to install. I'm not pulling any tools out. Usually I have to unload my whole truck just to get some work done. All right, so we're gonna set this right here like this, and I'm only gonna score it one time. This is a new blade, and I've only used it, well, right there, what you guys just saw. So anyway. One score. Look at that. Boom. All right, let's go put this thing in. All right, so next step, I will have to cut this one all the way down. All right, 3 3/4. 3 3/4. That leaves over here 3 1/2. Alright guys, so we got the floor slid back and underneath the door jambs. I want to take you over and let you take a look. Now as I said, this is LVP and you don't actually need a whole 1/4 of an inch expansion gap. The reason I put a gap anyway over here, because I mean even if I slid it a little bit underneath this baseboard, the framing underneath there, it would still be away from it, like 3/8 of an inch. But I did this because, like I said, sometimes the baseboard gets a little high and that nail won't penetrate in there and your 1/4 round is just like, it's not working, guy. So you want to be able to shoot down into the floor. And by leaving the gap there, we've achieved that. As you can see, it's a nice little 1/4 of an inch gap all the way across. And then right here, we were able to get underneath the door jamb and we're back 1/4 of an inch, so that's good. And then we're just inside that, leaving us that space for our nails. Same thing on the other side. All right guys, so we got our first 3 rows installed and we are ready to rock and roll. So I'm gonna set the camera up and just blow and go. Hey guys, I wanted to mention something right quick. This is a tip. If you go to the Dollar Tree, they sell these things right here. These are felts, and I like to take these and stick them underneath the washer and dryer legs. That way it's super easy to move around instead of moving on. And literally, they slide around like air. But that also protects my floor. Check it out, guys. I wanted to show you this right quick so you can see. Here's the groove, and here's the groove. Tongue on this side, tongue on this side. This just happens to be one of those where they flip-flop the pattern out, because you can see the dark is pointing down, and the dark is pointing up here. So basically, if I take this and put it like this, you can see they're the same. So they just reverse the pattern. That's all. Back to work. And check it out. With very little effort, Kelly is just shoving the washing machine. That's right, not the dryer, the little washing machine back, because she put it on. We got them on in felt, so it goes back just like butter. Do it one-handed, Kelly, right in the middle. Look at that.
I'm up against the wall. There you go.
That's how we do it, guys. Look at that. Come on, guys, Kelly's in here getting this part of the floor prepped. I'm not exactly sure what she's doing. Looks like she's making, oh, she's making felts for the couch. Over there, you can see where their wooden legs are on the floor. She's making felts for those. By the way, you can get those at the Dollar Tree. They come in a big giant package for $1.25 if you were lucky to get them. Back in the day, they were $1. All mine were $1. Anyway, this is what we got done up till now. And the kitchen is pretty much wrapped up except for the quarter round now.
Well, you guys, I would have to say mixing the two colors came out pretty awesome, and we had a variety of boards to pick from. Hey, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so now. Make sure you turn on notifications, and it would help the channel if you smash that like button.